Hey guys, how are you doing today? I'm real tired because it's like past 10 a.m. and I haven't slept all night, and I just don't really want to sleep. So we're going to film a video, and let's hope that I don't screw this up too much, okay? Okay. So, this is another top 5. In honor of the Loot Crate being villains this month, I decided to do a couple of villain top 5 lists. Why? Because I really can't choose just 5 villains, so I'm going to separate them into different categories. Like, this week will be comic book villains. Next week will be video game villains. And if I still want to do it and beat a dead horse, maybe we'll do just like TV show and movie villains. We'll see. But for now, we're just going to stick with comic villains. And this includes both DC and Marvel. And I have a better knowledge of Marvel than I do DC, but most of my reasons are pretty much superficial. Let's get on with it. Top 5 villains from comic books. Number 5 is the Joker. But I'm going to tack Harley onto that because they kind of come as a package deal. In some universes they don't. But we're just going to say, for the sake of it, that they do. I like the Joker because he really does seem like he's entirely nuts, but when you look at all of his strategies and plans and stories, you can tell there's some brilliance behind that madness, and it's not like he hasn't been able to prove that just one bad day is going to make you nuts, because sometimes that one day is what does push you over the edge. So yeah, Harley I love because I've loved her since I was 8. My first ever comic that I ever got, and probably like one of the only comics I had, was a comic with her and Poison Ivy in it. And I loved that thing so much that it like fell to pieces. But I love the idea of these two just going on adventures, and that was my first ever exposure to her. Like, I'd already known about Poison Ivy, and Poison Ivy's awesome, but getting to meet Harley was awesome for me. And I know like now she's all the rage and everybody's interested in her, but I want to say I am hipster Harley fan. I liked her before she was popular, before she was in any games, whenever she was just in the cartoon and in comics. Hipster Harley fan. Alright, number 4. Number, like you would type it on a typo. Number 4. Dr. Octopus from Spider-Man. Granted, I don't know him from comics at all. I know him from the movie he was in and from the Spider-Man cartoon, because I've been a big watcher of that for quite a while. So I just think he's a very interesting person. I like how they portrayed him in the movie. I actually like how they portrayed him in the movie better than how they did in the comics or cartoons. Yeah, he's just an interesting fellow. Dr. Octopus. Number 3, probably people will be like, why isn't this person number 1? Well, because I have my own personal reasons, okay? Loki from Thor. I know nothing about him aside from the Thor movies and the Avengers. I know, I'm one of those people. Sigh. But I think that Tom Hiddleston did a really good job. He was able to give the character believable emotions. Like, he isn't just some ridiculous villain. Like, you see the pain in his eyes, you see his struggles, you really get to identify with him and get to know him as a person. Like, whenever he was hurting over his mother, you could really tell. Like, you could tell that wasn't trickery. You could tell that was real. And that just made me identify with him, because, you know, everybody has had to go through hard times in their life. Everybody has had to go through loss of some type. And you really made, like, he really made you care about that character. I don't know. I think that Loki is awesome and that Tom Hiddleston did a good job. That's basically what I'm saying. Now, I did try to pick things that were from different types of comics, but my last two are both from X-Men, because X-Men is what I know the best. Watched all the movies, watched people play the games, I've watched the several cartoon series, and I've done a lot of research about certain characters I didn't know much about. So X-Men is really, if I had any niche in comics, X-Men would be what I know. So my number 2 is Mystique. Now, typically should be on number 1, but number 1 and number 2 are kind of interchangeable for me. So Mystique is always been fascinating to me because she can change into whatever she wants, but she tends to keep her own form. Like, I love that, because you really shouldn't have to hide who you are. It doesn't matter what you look like, how you act, what you like. She is a good example of just be who you are. If you can hear that, I'm sorry. The neighbor acts ridiculous. He's always causing trouble over there. But anyways, yes, Mystique, awesome. And ironically enough, like, if I had to choose a superpower ever, like, I would always choose, like, shape-shifting. I just think it's very fascinating. And I think Mystique is beautiful exactly how she is anyway, so bam! Alright, number 1 is Magneto. Honestly, if it were my choice between the X-Men and the Brotherhood, I would always choose the Brotherhood. I like the X-Men, I like what they stand for, but nowadays in this society, you have to end up fighting for what you want. It's great to show love, it's great to show peace, you know, and that is the way to get to a lot of people, but some people will just take that as weakness and stomp on you. So, while I don't think that Magneto's approach is fantastic because he's a little too violent, you do have to end up fighting for what you want. That's just an inevitability. See? This is what I'm talking about. This is why we don't film 10 a.m. after no sleep. But just because I can't say words doesn't mean I don't know what's on the list. It's fine. So, yeah. Magneto is a very, very interesting person and has very interesting powers, a very interesting backstory. I personally just think he's awesome, so he's my number 1. Yeah. And, so that's it for now. Sorry for any background interruptions and stuff. Everybody's starting to wake up now, so lots of noise everywhere, but hope it wasn't too much of a distraction. Let me know what your favorite comic book villains are, and hope you have a great day. I am gonna be done for now, and I'm gonna go watch some stuff, because I'm probably not sleeping for a while. Alright, well, you guys have a fantastic day, and I will talk to you later. Bye-bye.